pretty sure I get this. Oh, hey everybody, this is Silver Guardians looking RetroKid reviews. With some very good reasons. Mainly because I won a really cool thing a few weeks back on the RBT Toku memes riff stream. A lot of words, but there's a good reason why. Something awesome came in the mail before we get to my Zenkaiger episode 1 review. Let's get to the obvious elephant in the room from my privacy side of things. Force from the Future. Oh, Sins of the Future, sorry. Yeah, I won this comic through Easy and the guys over on RVT with Toku Riffs a few weeks back. The reason why this took forever to show up and to do my shout out to Easy was, well, mainly he lives in Texas and that snowstorm didn't really go anyone's way, so hope you're doing okay, Easy. Thank you again for the comic, and thank you again for giving my meme a shot, of all shots. So, card to my game-winning 10K meme and the basic random lottery for this. So, thanks again, Easy, for this. This is a really good comic, and hopefully a future review. I know this came out late last year. I might give it a chance to celebrate Time Force turning 20. Right up until the Netflix purge that happened, so I'll probably get a VPN or something like that along the line. So, that all being said, thanks again, Easy, and with that said, let's get to some more updates on writers that have gotten legal on Tokusatsu World. Stronger, Hibiki, and I think another episode or two of Blade, so please check out the channel there for official Toku. And more in this case, official Kamen Rider, because it's their 50th anniversary of the franchise, totally needs it, so all the usual housekeeping Toku-wise out of the way, let's, well, Sentai change into Zenkaiger Episode 1. It's a pretty basic episode. For the subs I saw it in so far was just Overtime. I'm pretty sure TV Neons came out by either this or next week, along with Episode 2. For full disclosure, as per usual, when I do Toku reviews, I will not put links down below for the fan subs. You can look for them yourself. Please do so at your discretion. Just gonna say at the top of the hour, I did see it on Overtime because they usually come out first. And normally anybody in the fandom goes, which one has the better grammar. I'm not here for the grammar. I'm just here to get to the content as itself. So, starting off, what I remembered from episode 1 is that they had a whole splash shot of the last 45 years of Sentai leading up to the previous team, which was Karamanger. Took a whole year to get that team name right, and yeah, they all got sucked into basically with this new Machine Empire, which the name escapes me, so wiki down below for the new empire. Turned them into basically Kamen Rider O style coins. I'm amazed they haven't really done a crossover with them, given that also just turned 10 years old, or Forza, either or, but probably down the road if they really want to bring back Tyson's. I doubt it, but it'd be cool. You get to their new only human ranger, basically freaking out, I think a month or two after that montage, that this empire showed up and basically started taking over. And he was all cool with it because most of the robots in this movie, sorry, trying to get back to the TV reviews is the whole thing, are kind of cool, unwilling to basically turn evil, which is going to be a nice theme going forward. Very X-Men vibes, not going to lie, honestly. But yeah, he basically pulls Forza and immediately wants to befriend him. And before I was going to say, oh, we're going to have that kind of residency, turns out he's got a lot more backstory than most in the last couple of shows combined. What I can remember correctly is that his parents were all, like, mad into, like, figuring out what the multiverse is and stuff, which is a weird yet good way to, like, canonize most Sentai teams, because throughout the whole 45-year history, there have been, like, 2 or 3 that were never really canon until, like, midway into the 90s. If you were missing any splashots or screenshots, I highly recommend Allstace's review. He did a quick rundown just like I'm gonna do. It's not that fast and loose like everyone kind of thought it was. It's kind of for the right amount of reasons. So he starts only befriending one of what will be the regular 5 robot rangers he's going to be hanging out with. And he looks pretty cool with it. There's a lot I'm going to be missing for time constraints because, again, I want to keep this non-spoilers in case anybody wants to sit through this, then go into episode 2 coming next week. Yeah, it's not bad. For the main ranger, I've already mentioned this when I was doing the images rundown, card 2. He's got a lot of Big One and First Red Ranger, Go Ranger. I'm not that well versed in 70 Sentai. My bad in advance. Yeah, it's a big mixture of the two for very on purpose because it is the 45th anniversary of the series, and it made a lot of sense. For what I remembered for the robot he befriended, he has a not bad civilian outfit that kind of reminds me of like past Sentai civilian outfits, which I think is going to be more purposeful for later Robot Ranger friends down the road for the series. Probably more so for maybe even if they do a human Six Ranger, which I think that if they do that, that'll be just about kind of where I thought it was going to be more like Zoologer, but for robots. And the main reason why they're just sticking to a robot gimmick this time around, again, like I said in the images rundown, is that they're doing that purposely because of COVID-19. They're not in the woods yet, like here in the States, where our vaccination is getting pretty good. I don't know overseas, rest of the world, but I'm pretty sure they might have a better handle it by the time this this series wraps up. So here's hoping for that. And again, if vaccinations are still on the rise, and hopefully, hospitalizations and stuff like that. I know this is turned into a COVID-19 channel, my bad in advance, but it made a lot of sense for a lot of businesses, including Toku, throughout last year. So basically, to TLDR this, if cases, stop and keep spiking down instead of up, we might get a human Six Ranger. If not, then I'll be cool with a normal, regular Six Ranger they're going to be thinking of later down the road for this Sentai. The only thing I mentioned, even in the images rundown, that they only have two robots that are going to like combine into their own Zords. As I theorized early on, that they might like combine as a big five. My only question is if they're going to do a traditional cockpit to be, a good shout out to like 90s Heisei Sentai like Zyuranger that ended up becoming Mighty Morphin here in the States, or be like the usual like spaced out kind of like yoga kind of style cockpit that even here in the States had to put up with now with Dino Fury the past several Power Ranger teams prior. I'm assuming they might do the Kinect kind of like movement style cockpit due to restrictions for COVID. So I'll know that probably till either this week or next week with the episodes 2 or 3. So yeah, the rest of the episode is pretty much standard Sentai fare. New Empire shows up, shows how like amazing they're gonna like take over the world this time. The only funny bit I can actually remember was this big one ranger, the human ranger. He still has a grandma. The parents were either missing or dead. I don't know which. That'll probably get explained better down the road. And she owns like a candy shop. I had no clue that his son, or I don't know which is her kid, basically had an underground lair, a la like Into the Spider-Verse. If anyone saw that cartoon, not really my review, but like just check out the movie. It's kind of like that, but like for the cabin in the backyard that Pete had in that version of the movie. Same thing here, but for a candy shop. It's weird, but it's cool. I forgot to mention that he has a robot parrot bird thing. Kind of reminds me, ironically, Time Force with their guy. The name escapes me, so wiki down below to yell at me in the comments, so have fun with that. Overall, it's a strong start for the 45th anniversary of the series. I did get a little sporadic for most of the details, because again, it's like that. Also, it's only the first episode. Probably I'll get a better handle on the details as time goes on. And like I said with most Toku, I watched the first episode. I'll know all the names by the time I'm like either in the 20s or 30s of watching these episodes. So that's where we are. My overall for this episode, sporadic and all, is definitely a 9 out of 10. It's a good start. It's a strong start. I can see the complaint so far that it's a little rushed, but it's like that with every new Sentai, so it's not as rushed as it looks. The opening, I forgot to mention, is also going to be a dance number. They usually have dance numbers at the end themes. They kind of flipped it around this time, and I can kind of see why they want to do that, I guess for TikTok challenges or something like that, if they have that in Japan. Best guess they do. So, that all being said, hope you all are enjoying this 45th team, and congratulations to Toei for another, hopefully, successful anniversary season. Knowing them, they have a good track record. The last 2 anniversary shows I've watched was Gokaiger and Zoologer, and they're like my top 5 favorites, so I highly recommend getting a jump on this right now. And I forgot to mention the gimmicks of the Morpher before we get to the end cards. It's kind of got like a revved up kind of like twist design, And then powers-wise, they're just going to be using gimmick powers of the past 44 teams. I don't know if they're going to actually transform into past Sentai. Maybe that was the game plan before COVID. Maybe they were going to be like a sequel series to Gokaiger in some aspects, but probably wasn't in the cards, obviously, due to the pandemic. But for if they do tribute teams, hopefully they do team tribute episodes like they did with Gokaiger. If they do, I wouldn't mind like when they get to like power coins stuff. Zyuohger or Gokaiger, they just flat out transformed into the past team just to be like, oh wow, this is cool, but like in a robot blocky kind of sense. It'd be kind of funny. I doubt they will do that. Probably because of the budgeting this time around because of the pandemic. They didn't have enough time to like make that intricate costumes and stuff. So all the technical stuff, I know I mentioned a lot in this episode, but also it's got a little more into it. So again, I recommend his review. That all being said, what did you think of this episode? Do you think that this is a great start for the 45th anniversary despite the conditions of last year? Will we be watching the show? Please let me know in the comments down below. Do you want to keep it up? Let me know. Do you want me to continue these reviews when we get to like the 10s and 20s, just to do like a quick roundup of where we are arcs wise, which I usually do on my channel. And that all being said, end card's finally coming up to my previous video here, which is me talking, I believe, WandaVision's new figures that are coming out, and my final review of that back half of the series. Hand here for the shorts, because I'm probably going to do more previews of future retro reviews that I've been waiting to do for about a good long time for this channel, so you'll know soon. So, card to the playlist there for the shorts. Rider shirt here to sub to the channel. Notification bell down below also for future Toku reviews related to my channel. That all being said, I'm RetroKid Reviews, and this is a great natural lining to a natural, hopefully shining start for the 45th anniversary of Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger. And if this is getting that good of a show, that probably means one thing: I can actually pronounce these names. My grammar and my Western, fandom aside, I wish nothing for the best for this show, and I hope, like any other past Sentai, they do what they can. I forgot to mention the handoff. It's actually pretty good. I might mention it in the shorts. So, that all being said, take care, subscribe, and happy 45 Sentai. Hope for best.